The crown of Charlemagne from 1271 was used as the French coronation crown from 875 or 1590 to 1775. The crown of Charlemagne is the name of the ancient coronation, crown of the kings of the Franks, and later of the kings of France, after 1237. It was probably created as a simple hoop of 4 curved rectangular plates, decorated with precious stones for Charles the Bald, grandson of Charlemagne. Around 1180, Philip Augustus probably added 4 new fleurs-de-lis with precious stones to the original 4 plates, and topped them with a cap with stones. At that time, there was a similar but open crown, the Queen's crown. One of them was melted down in 1590 by the Catholic League during the siege of Paris. The remaining crown was used until the reign of King Louis XVI, who was crowned in 1775 in the Cathedral of Reims. The crown of Jeanne d'Evreux was then used for the coronation of queens. During the coronation ceremony, French kings wore other crowns. French kings also wore their personal crowns, which were worn after the coronation during a banquet held at the Tuileries Palace, as well as the crown of Saint Louis, named Saint-Caron de France, which were later donated to the treasury of the Abbey of Saint-Denis, near Paris, the traditional burial place of the Viking dynasty. Only one of the 11 personal crowns of the ancient regime remains, the crown of Louis XV, made for the coronation of Louis XV in 1722. The crown of Charlemagne did not suit him, and 5 crowns of the 18th century. The coronation crown, the crown of Charlemagne, was destroyed during the French Revolution. The golden crown of Louis XIV, the inverted scepter, and the hand of justice of Henry IV, Louis XIV's coronation costume detail. Louis XIV, who became king on May 14, 1643, and was crowned on June 7, 1654. At the age of 15, 2 new crowns were created by jeweler Alexandre Courtois, whose date of birth is unknown, and the date of death is 1654. These crowns were more ornate than the crowns of Louis XIII. They had the same composition. On the rim, the golden crown was decorated with precious stones and colored gold, imitating other stones. The base of the headband was no longer 6 lilies and 6 flowers, but 12 lilies connected by pearls. She weighed a kilogram. The crown, covered and decorated with unknown precious stones, was created for the ceremony. Later, the stones were replaced with copies made of rock crystal and tinted glass after the king's will in Saint-Denis. The technique of creating crowns was also used for the crown of Louis XV. The crown weighed 600 grams. We see a golden crown on the background of the famous portrait of Louis XIV by Hyacinthe Rigaud. Like the others, they were melted down in 1793. The crown of Louis XV. Nuance. At the time of his accession to the throne, the young king was only 12 years old, and of those crowns that were kept in Saint-Denis, none of them fit Louis. It was decided to create 2 new crowns at once, one gold with an ornament of royal lilies, sunflowers, laurel leaves and grapes, the other solemn, studded with precious stones. The golden crown was an ornate gold ring, set with precious stones, and bordered with rows of pearls. There are 6 sunflowers and 6 heraldic lilies left, all golden, as well as branches in laurel palms and bunches of grapes, also golden. Yes, the fox is in gold. Unlike previous crowns, it is clearly visible in the painting, the last portrait of Louis XV by Rigaud, made in 1730. Louis XV, crown, Louis XV blue crown, 1710 to 1774, the only crown of the ancient regime belonging to the treasury of the Abbey of Saint-Denis. It is currently kept in the Galerie de Polon at the Louvre Museum in Paris. Until the beginning of the 19th century, the kings of France wore crowns decorated with some real gems. Louis XV is at the forefront of change. Indeed, the crown used during his coronation in 1722 was decorated with diamonds from the royal collection. The crown was made by Augustin Duflat, 1715-74, according to sketches by Claude Rained, using 282 diamonds, 64 colored stones, sapphires, rubies, topazes, emeralds, and 230 pearls. From the collection of Mazarin, 1661. After the coronation, the diamonds from the crown were replaced with quartz or glass replicas, which are still in use today. During the Revolution, other royal crowns were lost, stolen, or destroyed, and the coronation crown of Louis XV, the only one that survived. In 1887, the Third Republic decided to sell most of the jewels present on Louis XV's crown. Some diamonds and other precious stones were kept in the Louvre as a regent, in the Historical Museum of Nature, and in the Museum of the Mining School. The crown, stripped of precious stones and replaced with glass replicas, was preserved, given its historical significance. Unlike his three direct predecessors, Louis XVI was crowned at the age of 21, June 11, 1775. The golden crown was made by the royal silversmith August, who made it from 22-carat gold. Total weight, 1345, for 4,016 pounds, plus 150 pounds for a leather crown case. The golden crown consists of a rim decorated with ornaments, precious stones and golden pearls, topped with heraldic lilies and tiaras resembling ancient laurel branches with acanthus leaves. The tiaras meet at the top of the crown, forming a kind of capital on which we find a double heraldic lily. She had a crimson inner cap, embroidered with gold. We recognize this crown behind the king in the famous portrait of Antoine François, Calais. The coronation crown was one of the few that were not destroyed during the Revolution, as it had disappeared earlier. Created for the coronation by jeweler Robert, it was not preserved after the coronation. Bernard Morel claims that the coronation crown was dismantled to avoid copying many diamonds, due to the high cost of the coronation, given the financial situation of the kingdom. In the Book of Coronation, a description taken from Morel's book, the crown is described as a ring surrounded by pearls, studded with 8 precious stones and 24 diamonds. The base of the crown was crowned with 8 heraldic lilies, the central one decorated with a regent and branches crossing pearl threads with 3 colored stones and 4 white diamonds on each. At the top, the branches joined at the base, on which was a double heraldic lily, inside which was a sansi. With the exception of the branches and some details, such as the location of some gems, it strongly resembled the crown of Louis XV. Its description resembles the crown that can be seen behind the king in the portrait of Louis XVI of France in the Order of the Holy Spirit, made by Alexander Roslin from 1782 to 1783.